glass Heine is drowning my icebox.
Say It Ain't So isn't just one of Weezer's most beloved songs, it's also one of their most personal. This emotional, alt-rock anthem from the band's 1994 Blue album is a raw outpouring of frontman Rivers Cuomo's teenage fear, anger, and anxiety. At its heart, Say It Ain't So is about generational trauma, alcohol abuse, and the fear of history repeating itself.
Somebody's cold one is giving me chills.
The incident that inspired the song. When Rivers Cuomo was 16, he opened the fridge in the house he shared with his mom and stepfather, Stephen. Inside, he saw a single beer bottle. For most kids, this wouldn't be a big deal. But for Rivers, it triggered a flood of painful memories. Rivers' biological father, Frank Cuomo, was an alcoholic who left the family when Rivers was just 4 years old. Seeing that beer in the fridge made Rivers terrified that the same story was about to play out all over again, that alcohol would once again destroy his family. In Rivers' words, finding that bottle awakened ancient feelings. That moment would become the seed of Say It Ain't So. Breaking down the lyrics. The lyrics to Say It Ain't So are loaded with personal references. Let's look at some of the key lines. Somebody's Heine is crowded my icebox, somebody's cold one is giving me chills. This opening line is a direct description of that moment, a Heineken bottle sitting in the fridge, and the wave of dread it caused Rivers to feel. Dear Daddy, I write you, in spite of years of silence. Here Rivers directly addresses his estranged father, Frank, expressing his unresolved anger and pain after years without contact. This bottle of Stephen's awakens ancient feelings. This line names his stepfather Stephen directly, underlining how personal the song is. The beer isn't just a drink, it's a trigger that opens up years of fear and trauma. Like father, stepfather, the son is drowning in the flood. This is the emotional climax of the song. Rivers is afraid that alcoholism will sweep through both of his father figures and that he himself may eventually get pulled under too. The line about finding Jesus. One of the most striking moments in the song is the line, "You've cleaned up, found Jesus." This was directed at Frank Cuomo, who eventually got sober and became a Pentecostal preacher. On paper that sounds positive, a story of redemption. But Rivers wrote the song as a teenager, still processing years of anger. To him it felt unfair that his dad had gone on to start a new life while Rivers was left to deal with the fallout of his absence. Years later Rivers admitted, "I was an angry young man, I was quick to point the finger." How Rivers' perspective changed.
This way is a water slide away from me that takes it fuller every day.
As Rivers got older, his relationship with his father began to heal. Around the time Weezer's Blue album came out, the two started reconnecting. Rivers began to see Frank not just as the man who left, but as a complex person with his own struggles and gifts. He even started watching videos of his father's church sermons. Frank would preach and play music during services, and Rivers realized he had inherited that same love of performance. The very thing that made him feel awkward and insecure as a frontman was actually a genetic gift from his dad. This new understanding inspired some of Weezer's later work. Their 2014 album, Everything Will Be Alright in the End, was heavily influenced by Rivers' relationship with his father, especially the song, Foolish Father, which directly addresses reconciliation and forgiveness. In a full-circle moment, Frank Cuomo even joined Weezer on stage in 2015 and 2016, playing drums on songs like Back to the Shack and Beverly Hills. It was a powerful symbol of healing, turning years of anger into a moment of shared music. Say It Ain't So hits so hard because it's about more than just Rivers' story, it's about the universal fear of repeating our parents' mistakes and the pain of family cycles we can't control. Even if you've never experienced addiction in your family, you can feel the emotional weight in Rivers' voice, that mix of fear, anger, and desperation. It's part confessional, part cry for help, and that's why the song still connects with listeners 30 years later. It's not just a great alternative rock track, it's a piece of Rivers Cuomo's soul, frozen in time, from the moment he opened that fridge and felt his childhood fears come rushing back.
This bottle of Stevens awakens ancient feelings.
Say It Ain't So is one of the most vulnerable songs in the Weezer catalog. It's a portrait of a teenager trying to make sense of abandonment, addiction, and anger, and it's also a story about growth, forgiveness, and finding peace with the past. Rivers Cuomo's relationship with his father came full circle, proving that even the deepest wounds can eventually heal, and turning one of his darkest moments into one of Weezer's most timeless songs.
My love is a knife taker.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Weezer's Say It Ain't So, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more fascinating music documentaries and untold stories from your favorite bands. We've got plenty more Weezer content and music tales coming your way, so join our community and never miss a beat. Subscribe for more music stories.